Guys, it's Dan here. In this week's episode, we will calculate a price of a new product correctly. So this is one of the biggest questions when you are starting a business, but also when you're a very mature business. It doesn't matter if you're a startup or if your name is Apple. One of the most important things in your business is to fixing the right price of a new product, well, to be able to maximize your profits, of course. You don't want to sell too low because of course it's going to endanger your profits. Well, you're gonna miss out the opportunity to make out more profits. And on the other side, if you are selling too high, obviously, you will not sell enough because you are too expensive. So how can we tackle this problem? Well, I'm going to show you a technique how you can fix the price of your new product correctly. Let's get started, guys. Imagine I'm a startup, I have a brand new prototype, a brand new product, and imagine I'm selling protein powder, whey protein, okay? This is of course not sponsored by this manufacturer, it's just an empty box that I had, but I think it's a great example to show you a product and a strategy behind the price of a product that can be successful. So how, as a new entrepreneur, as a new business, how can I get the right price, the right selling price for my new whey protein? Well, there are three things you should consider in the first place. First of all, your idea may be to say, well, you know what, I'm just gonna look around and say, look what the competition is doing. So that could be the first strategy, copy competition. And for example, go on Amazon, see competition sells it for $50, I'm gonna sell it for $50. The problem with this strategy is actually, let's take an example with the whey protein. You have whey protein for 5 pounds, for example, between $30 and $90, let's say. So what does it mean, copy competition, first of all? And second of all, of course, copying competition means that you take into consideration that you have the same cost structure as the competition, which is not true. Maybe they are much bigger, they can produce much cheaper. So the question for you, if you're just copying stupidly the competition and say my price is $50 for this whey protein, well, the question is, will you be profitable? You cannot know that, okay? So the first strategy is interesting, but don't take it as a standalone strategy. Second of all, you could just say, okay, I'm gonna ignore all competition and I'm gonna fix this because I want to make a lot of money. I'm gonna fix this at $80. Well, the thing is, you're probably gonna be very unrealistic and you're either gonna overprice or underprice it massively, so we are far away from having the optimal price strategy here, of course. And then third, you could say, imagine I already have a price history because before making this whey protein, imagine I had another one before, so I have, let's say, 2 or 3 years of history. And I could say, well, my last protein powder, I sold it for $40, and now with the new formula, well, I'm just gonna keep it at 40 because this is what more or less works. The problem with just using price history is you are missing out. Is there a price evolution? Maybe I give you an example. If you are selling coffee 10 years ago and today, you are missing out today, of course, because 10 years ago, no, coffee was not like a luxury hipster good, you know what I mean? So today you could sell it for a much higher markup, for a much higher price than 10 years ago. So price evolution is very important, and of course trends as well. For example, health leads to people using more whey protein, and that's why maybe they're paying more for better quality or these kind of things. So using just the price history is a bit tricky. Of course, you can use it, but just do not use it as a single strategy. How can we fix these different problems, and how can we achieve, well, the optimum price? Well, let's get started with the calculation. Here comes the strategy to fix the perfect price for your product. Well, first of all, you need to fix the minimum price you are able to sell it. Then we will look at what is the maximum I can go, how much can I sell at maximum, depending on the market and all these kind of things. And these two, min and max, will lead us to a price range, and then we will look at the price range we have and try to find a clever way how we can price in our perfect price between these two brackets. That being said, let's start with the first step, which is calculate the production cost. Sounds like a no-brainer, but it's super important, especially if you want to start from scratch and be profitable from the start. Of course, if you want to build something like Uber and even 10 years after still burning cash and making losses, well, that's your thing. But usually people create businesses and set up prices, well, to be profitable from the start. That being said, let's look at our production costs. Again, I'm trying to sell my way here at the perfect price. So what do I need? First of all, of course, I have materials here, raw materials. I'm buying some milk extract and I'm gonna make some protein powder with it. Let's imagine I have material costs of $1, which is the raw material which is inside. Then I have some packaging, of course. I have my box, I have my sticker. That's about $2, right? And then I have my production cost because, of course, the concentrate, the raw material I have bought, I need to put it in a factory. I'm gonna pay a factory to produce the whey protein I'm gonna put in this box, right? So imagine the production cost is about $3. And then, since it's highly automated, I don't have a lot of labor cost because imagine it's only gonna be $1 for this box because it's just someone who's gonna, well, package the things basically. Then comes shipping, of course. Imagine I have an online business, it's based on Shopify or something like that, an e-commerce store. Then I'm gonna have shipping costs, of course. This is like £5, so imagine it's like $5 or something like that, okay? The prices are not exact, of course, but it's just to give you an idea how to do it, right? Then comes a very tricky point, which is digital marketing, because all the other things you can easily calculate them down on one product, right? Let's imagine I can package. My guy can package 60 of these in 1 hour. That means I have a labor cost of 1 per product. But and shipping is also very simple. But what is pretty tricky is digital marketing. How much are you gonna spend on Facebook, on Instagram, on Google, on Amazon, and so on to promote your product? That's a very tricky question because it's actually impossible to say in advance how you're gonna sell. But to make it very simple, imagine you have done a very good job in researching, you have a lot of knowledge about digital marketing and these kind of things. And imagine you say, okay, I'm gonna spend $6 of different ads on different platforms, $6 in total to sell 1 product, okay, to keep it simple. This can, of course, vary a lot, so try to guesstimate the best possible way here, of course. And then don't forget there are financial fees, of course, because it doesn't matter if you use Shopify, BigCommerce, and all the other online platforms, or if you're using PayPal or whatever, they're gonna charge about 3% of your price. Imagine, to keep it simple, it's about $2 here, okay? So if we do the sum of all our direct costs here related to the product, imagine we have product costs of $20 for this box here, okay? So what does it mean? So here comes a very critical point you definitely have to understand, and a lot of people forget it, okay? Your production cost of $20, of course you're not going to sell your product at 20 because you want to make money, of course. You want to be profitable after taxes and so on and so on. So what's the strategy to find out the minimum price? Well, it's pretty simple. You take your $20 production costs, you multiply them by 3, and you get $60, which will be your minimum price you can sell, $60. Why multiplying by 3? Why so much? What's the strategy behind? Well, think about it. Imagine at the beginning you are selling directly to customers, only one at a time, okay? Imagine, very simple. And this is at the beginning, wow, that sounds a lot of margin, right? And that would be great if that would be the case. So at the beginning that sounds like a lot of margin, times 3, right? But now think about it. Imagine after a few months or years you are deciding that I'm gonna do wholesale, okay? I wanna sell bigger quantities, maybe to supermarkets or something like that. What happens when you are bargaining wholesale? Well, usually what the rate is, they're gonna take your price and they will ask you for 50 to 70% off of your initial price, so you can sell them a lot of quantity, right? It becomes a volume business. In other terms, your $60 price tag will be cut by 50 to 70%, which will leave you with $25 of revenue, right? Your 60 become 25, and what is interesting, and that's why you gotta take that's why it's important to multiply it by 3, because right now, even if you are selling it for 25 at a wholesale price, meaning you are selling a lot of units, you are still profitable because 25 is more than 20, to keep it very simple, okay? So never forget to multiply by 3 to get your minimum price. So now that we have our minimum price, how can we calculate our maximum price? Well, that's the second step. Well, to calculate the max price, it's gonna be a lot of research, so let's get started. Imagine again, I'm selling, or want to sell my whey protein here, and what are the criteria here? Well, imagine it's 100% grass-fed, it's unflavored, it's 25 grams per protein, no added sugar, no GMO, no hormones, no soy, but it's not an organic product. So my search to find out the max price would be, for example, to go on Amazon or Alibaba or whatever. It depends on the region where you are. Imagine you are in the US, it's usually going to be Amazon or Google, and of course you're gonna for the same 5 pound unflavored protein, you're gonna look for these different expressions and so on, and of course you will try to find the max price that you can find on Amazon, which gonna be an organic whey protein. Okay, then you're gonna find out, okay, how much do they sell it and how are the reviews and so on. Now imagine we have done our research and we have found the top of the line competitor, the USDA organic certified and so on, which sells their whey protein 5 pounds for $100. Okay, so my max price is kind of my most premium competitor that sells well and has good reviews. In this case, the company has like 700 something reviews, so that's kind of a good estimation here. So you know that your minimum price is 60 because we have calculated it. It was the $20 costs times 3 gives me 60, and my max price is at 100 because my best premium competitor sells at 100, and because I'm not selling USDA organic protein powder, I cannot actually sell above him, because why should someone buy something which is not organic and pay more than for something which is organic, right? The last step, the step number 3 in the process, is of course to select the correct price. So far we have discussed the minimum price, which was 60, the maximum price, which was 100. So now I know my price range, right? I know I can sell between $60 and $100. Of course, this is very large. You can say, well, but that's a lot of range, right? Which is true. But now actually you can continue your research, of course. Is there a competitor maybe that sells exactly the same protein powder I am selling, for example? And in this case, it would be someone who is selling, for example, what I told you before, grass-fed protein, 25 grams, no GMO, and so on. Everything the same as myself and not organic, because the organic competitor was the top of the line $100 product. I am not an organic producer, so the question is there a direct competitor to myself? And I found one on Amazon, for example, and this company is selling for $60, $59.95. Now the question, of course, is you can either follow this direct competitor and say, okay, I can sell it for 60 because my minimum price is 60, so I could match his price. Or you could try something different. Imagine you are pricing it at $70 and so a bit more than him for a very good reason. Maybe work on your marketing, do something better image or something like that. And imagine you are selling pretty good at 70, but then if you give discounts maybe at 65 or at 60, look what happens. And this is where you're gonna find your sweet spot at some point, because of course you're not gonna sell around 100 because here is your organic top of the line competitor. But imagine if you have a little bit of playroom here. If you start at 70 and then maybe 65 will be the sweet spot or something, you don't know exactly. You gotta try, fail and try again, at this time, but at least you're gonna have a profitable product because you are selling for more than 60, and you know where your competition is. That's very important. So direct competition, if you have some, very important. The try and error I was just explaining, the play with the price, is also very important. That will come with experience, of course. And then, of course, there is also this psychology effect. why is everybody selling iPhones at $7.99 or protein powder at $59 or these kind of things? Well, of course, that's the psychology. We all know how they do it. We know why they're not selling it for 60 but for 59, because 59 is more like 50 and not 60. So it works for everybody, but we still fall into that trap all the time. That's why it exists. So don't forget this psychology effect. And the reason why I'm telling you that is when you look up the exact protein powder I was showing you on Amazon, for example, they are selling it exactly at $59.95, which is they are matching exactly the direct competitor, of course. I don't know for sure for how much they are producing it, of course, but this is kind of the logic here. You see the minimum price, you see the max price, you see the price range and how you can play with it. So now that you know how to fix a price correctly to not overprice or underprice your product, I wanted to ask you, are you launching a new product? What's your idea behind it? What kind of product is it? Is it the first time you're launching a product, or do you have experience with it? Tell me what you think about the strategy. In my opinion, it has worked very well in the past. And as you can see with this example, it gives you some light on how the price has been calculated in this case. Otherwise, I wanted to tell you, I post once a week every Sunday. It's always corporate finance, market finance, these kind of topics. So if you like that kind of stuff, if you want to smart up your game in finance in general, make sure to subscribe, make sure to like. It takes me about 6-7 hours to produce. Enjoy your week, stay safe, see you soon guys, bye bye.